Most of our desktops look something like this: a cluttered mess of windows, constant information overload. So while we have all these amazing advances in computer technology and new platforms and applications, why aren't computers making us happier or more productive anymore? And why are we still all manually trying to stay in sync and keep all that underlying context in our heads? I'm Jeff Sapansky, the founder and CEO of Reframe Technologies, also known as Tall Jeff. I'm here to talk a bit about what our company is all about and what we're working on building. The core of Reframe, we like to say, is about delivering a next-generation computing environment. One that still works with all the existing tools, but totally transforms how we get work done with computers. That sounds kind of ambitious, right? And so what do we really mean by this? What are the problems we're going after? We see something fundamentally missing from the way our computers work. And it's not another productivity app or new type of web browser. Certainly the web itself, our chat apps, email, project management tools, and even video communications have empowered us to work in ways we only had dreamed of working a few decades ago. And yet, when I talk to most knowledge workers, they're still frustrated and stressed by the constant deluge of messages, notifications, these different shifting priorities, unclear objectives, and just continuous ongoing distractions. In a lot of ways, this isn't such a far step from what we had 30 years ago. The way we work has evolved, and computers have gotten faster and more capable. But the underlying fundamentals of the desktop GUI as a computing environment hasn't changed much at all. To be clear, yes, we have bigger high-resolution screens and even nice small high-resolution screens right here in our hands with prettier and more responsive interactions. But fundamentally still just windows and tabs, all in application silos, glued together using what? Copy and paste? There really must be a better way. At Reframe, we see a new type of system seamlessly connected to the people, the context, and all the content that we need. A world where our computers work for us, not against us, bringing applications, people, and the right information together as one. A single environment where we can efficiently orchestrate each initiative regardless of how we want to work, where we want to work, and even the choice of the tools we want to use to get the job done. At Reframe, we're working on a better way to get work done using computers, even with our existing applications. When we talk in terms of a core Reframe thesis, we're not aiming at 10%, 20%, or even a 50% improvement in productivity. We're aiming at an order of magnitude impact on our productivity, where we can stop treating people like cogs in a wheel or widgets on an assembly line, where the technology, instead of distracting us, is empowering us to be the best versions of ourselves, always set up with tools and the context that enable us to be focused on what matters. This is the opportunity we see here, a profound improvement in productivity for an individual using Reframe, but then especially for all of us collaborating together when everyone on the team is using Reframe. The people, the tools, and the work coming together as one, as if it was all meant to work that way from the start. Let's talk about a simple example. I come back to my computer after taking a break, and then I sit down at my desk, and this is what I see. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like what's going on here? I have all these different browser tabs. We've got all these different applications running, notifications, inboxes, different feeds. I don't even know where to go first. Do I leave this red or do I mark it unread? Do I go to my chats? Do I look at my email? Should I go back to what I was doing before? Do I even remember what I was doing before? It seems crazy that the computer doesn't fundamentally address this for us. You know what is really interesting about our whole desktop computing environment that we're used to? Check this out. We really have to ask ourselves, what the heck's the difference here, right? The physical pieces of paper on our desks simply got replaced with a digital form of the same thing on our computer desktop. I mean, it's literally called the desktop metaphor. We're still moving all this digital paper around on our computer desktops, and it has all the same problems that our original messy desks had, except now there's even way more paper being generated, even faster than ever before. This vicious cycle seems obvious, and yet the computers are still not doing anything to play along with us. Us, the humans, that is, while we're using the computers to work together. In fact, in some ways, when you think about a personal computer, this idea that computers are very personal is nice, But I think if all of this would have been networked from the start, we probably would have called it a collaborative computer. Not only collaboration in the sense of us working together, but also just as a single human collaborating with the computer in a much deeper way. We're really looking for something that leaps beyond just moving all this digital paper around, where the computer itself has a much better sense of what is going on so they can help us, but not in any kind of hand-wavy AI techniques way either. This is much more fundamental, creating the structure for a much more deeply integrated environment. This is what Reframe's mission is all about. Thank you for your time. As always, feel free to reach out to me anytime or anybody else in the team. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you very much.